First up, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. And I guess that's me, since we don't really have anybody down there. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will take an approval of the agenda. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at it?
Good to me.
So moved. Second?
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes. Okay.
Ms. Ridley, it's all you to
all you.
introduce us and tell our new members what we do.
Yes. So we will introduce our new members, new committee members. We are missing one tonight. Ms. Caitlin Osborne Paris. She is unfortunately, Dr. Goulian had another previous engagement, so he cannot be here. But if we could just go around and everyone introduce themselves, that way we kind of can know who we are.
You want to start with you, Mr. Tidwell? Claire Maxwell, Rutherford County Chair, Zone 5.
Jimmy Sullivan, Rutherford County Director of Schools.
Tammy Sharp, Rutherford County School Board, Zone 1.
Stan Vaught, Rutherford County School Board.
Katie Darby, Rutherford County School Board, Zone 4.
Michael McDonald, resident, Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, Tennessee.
I'm Monica Carr, and this is my, I think, third year in this committee.
Brandon Deal, teacher, Christiana Middle School.
Kay Martin, Deputy Superintendent.
Jeff Reed, School Board Attorney.
I'm Stacy Wallace, paralegal.
And I'm Monica Ridley, General Counsel for Rutherford County Schools. So for our new committee members, just so you all know, this committee is kind of the first stop for reviewing, changing, amending, and implementing new policies. So policy changes can come from anywhere. They can be submitted by our staff, by our students, by our parents, of course, changes in the law. And so things come here in a variety of ways, and that is the job of the committee to take a look at it, make sure it looks good, and then pass it out for the board to vote and implement our new policies. So this job is very important, and we appreciate everyone being here.
Can I add something to that? And then just for everyone else, one of my main jobs is I have to enforce policy. So whatever we pass, I have to then enforce. So just keep that. Who is our longest standing member of the policy committee? I do this every time we have a new policy person.
I believe that would be Dr. Kay Martin.
How many years? So when? Okay. Congratulations. You no longer. Congratulations, Kay. Perfect.
That was a long time ago.
Perfect.
And just a quick reminder that please turn on the microphone if you are speaking. That way we are live streaming this meeting. And so just pull the microphone to you, make sure the light is green so that it can be recorded. Madam Chair, may I go ahead?
Yes, you may.
Okay. We have no public comment tonight, and we'll go straight to the first policy change, which is policy 1.703, and that is school attendance zones and exemptions. This policy change would add language that the requirement of primary domicile to be in Rutherford County at the time of the application to our choice schools. And so you will see that language highlighted there in yellow.
May I?
Yes.
So this was requested partially by the community, partially by our board. We discussed this at our spring last year. The last couple years, the school system has kind of overseen the choice school application process. And during that time, we've noticed nobody's fault, but we have currently the way it is as long as somebody lives here by the time that school starts, then they are eligible to attend a choice school. And so we've inadvertently created, which is great, we want people to recognize our excellent school system, but we are creating a system that not just here in the state and nationally, but even globally, we have applicants who are applying for our choice seats, and then based on whether or not they get in or not determines whether or not they move here. And so that is in turn taking seats away from people who are taxpayers and community members and citizens. So that's where this request comes from.
Would this be able to expand it to what we have now, I think, is if you have like a contract on a house, could we add that to that? That way we're kind of,
And we usually allow those.
Okay.
If they provide us with the contract and they may
Okay.
be closing, shortly after, I think that would be the same as what we're doing now.
okay, that's what I wanted to make sure that we weren't changing that policy as well.
I move to approve it.
Okay, thank you. All in favor say aye. I'm sorry.
Other
Mr. Day.
questions? Yeah, I mean,
sorry.
time out. If you're going to carry it that far, you're going to carry it to a lease on a residence. You would qualify there, just not a post office box.
No, it has to be
No,
a
you have
lease.
to have a real
Or
contract.
not some first cousin's address or something like that. It's got-
we're-
Well, I mean, hey,
You're exactly
you think
right.
of it. Look, I've been in it 38 years. They'll figure out a way around the policy. They'll trick you into something. So
Yes,
lease or contract would
Correct.
suffice.
yes,
If the tax card is not in their name.
correct.
Yeah, by the time of application instead of the time of the school year starting is the big difference. And then primary domicile was the other portion because we have people who are using their business address to say that I'm
Sure.
a business paying tax-paying citizen.
And I have seen that. So I would say it would need to, if the tax card is not in their name, they need to have a lease or a valid contract.
That's right. And that's how we treat our regular enrollment, not just to our
Good deal.
choice schools. So that's the
Thank
same.
you for clarifying.
Absolutely.
Any other comments or questions?
We need to get some of our former football coaches and see how they used to do this and make sure all the avenues were cut off.
With TSSAA, they just transfer, so they're fine.
I got you.
They just made it easier.
They're fine.
I'm not saying that any of the coaches ever did that. I'm just saying they always
Surely
thought
not.
about it.
Surely
So
not.
No. Let's just vote, let's just vote again. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes.
Thank you. Next policy is 3.206. This is community use of school facilities. And this would just add language to allow deposits to secure the use of the school facilities. So what we've been running into here recently is that an organization will book a facility, the board approves the facility use, and then they'll cancel at the last minute. And the school has already secured, the date, secured the employee to be there. And so we would allow, not require, but allow each school to charge a deposit if they wish for the organization.
And would the school have the authority to not say, if you could cancel within 24 to 48 hours, we will not give this back?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, really in talking to principals, the first one or two times somebody does it, we're going to give grace. But when you have your custodians coming and we're already paying them, we're actually losing money because we're paying them to come in anyways. And then nobody actually booked the facility.
You're going to allow each school to set their own 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever.
do we need to establish a minimum charge?
I said nominal because that will depend on how much they're paying for the use of the facility. Sometimes it might just be $100 or something like that. Sometimes it's more. So I just put a nominal deposit depending on what the total cost of renting the facility is.
Probably needs to be something to get their attention.
Yes, Ms. Sharp.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to say we need to go back and look at the software package, the Facilitron, because they handle all of this on the backside, and take all that information for our staff, as well as rent out our facilities. So I think that's something worth looking at, so we can see, to Dr. Sullivan's point, how much money we are losing or how much money we are spending on this. think we need to revisit that.
Yes, go ahead.
And just, I know you and I disagree on this, and we can discuss it. That is not something in the past we have wanted to look at, and so just know that's, but the board can always reconsider that. But for our new members, that wasn't something our staff was interested in putting in place.
I think it's going to free up them to do some other things
It could.
and bring in some money.
Yeah.
Ms. Maxwell,
Yes, Mr. Tickle.
I don't have an issue with this. I'm just curious, how often does this happen? Is this something that regularly happens?
It doesn't, no.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Darby.
this might be a question for you, Monica. Are we going to get into the weeds at all as far as charging different deposits for different companies or different things if it's not a uniform thing across the board?
I don't think so. It doesn't happen very often. But again, because the charges are different depending on how long they're renting the facility and what part of our facility they charge, it would be hard to set a minimum or, and some principals may not want to do it if they've never had that problem. So that's why the language is a little bit broad to give them that discretion. If they've never had that problem, they may not need to do it. Some that have had the problem, may want to implement it.
Dr. Sullivan, do we have a fee schedule of any sort?
We do as part of the facility use, yes. And it's based on the number of hours, who's going to be there, all those different types of things.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Stock.
But you're typically what you're doing is giving the school the autonomy to decide, do they want to do this or not, what they want to charge. So you're giving them the freedom to kind of set policy
Correct.
within their whoever
building.
their customer base is or whatever.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's fair. Give them the, because I'd hate to make it so rigid, it's this across the board for whoever, because each facility is going to be different, I think.
Correct.
And then that would definitely limit who could potentially do it if they had to make a.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So the word may, I think, is pretty important and may require a nominal deposit. So it gives them the autonomy to do it. I think it's probably wise. Is it your motion?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
What did you say?
Oh, but
As a principal, I like the way it's written. I like the verbiage that we're using.
Say $100 minimum, that would take a little bit of the pressure off some of the principals, because, I can just see a principal come in and somebody comes in that is a buddy and, or somebody they know, and they want to use facilities, and then they end up canceling on them, and they didn't charge this fee. I think, it just frees up that principal a little bit, that there's a minimum charge for everybody. And if they want to go higher, then that's fine. But, I think it just keeps the principals, from getting in a position of having to tell the buddy, hey, it's a charge.
Let's see how it works a year, and if we need to come back and visit it, we can change it next year.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
You need a motion, or is it?
A motion?
So moved.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Tidwell. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes.
Thank you. Next is policy 4.601, reporting student progress. This actually was brought to our attention by TSBA. Apparently, the language that is highlighted is no longer in the law, and so they have recommended that we remove this from our policy.
That's strange.
Why did they decide to take this out? Do you know?
I don't. No.
Oh, I think that's up to the parents. The parents need to parent right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have to take the form when they go to get their driver's license, but this is for revocation, so.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Tidwell. Thank you, Mr. Vaught. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes.
Next policy is 4.605, graduation requirements. This would add computer science credits starting with the 24-25 school year to align with state rules and regulations. So this has already been in state rules, and we are just updating our policy to match that.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Vaught. Thank you, Mr. Rosales. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes.
Okay, next policy is 6.204, attendance of non-resident students. And this adds language to exempt choice schools from early admissions. So this is, again, similar to the other one that we talked about. This is the language that allows, if people are moving in and submitting a lease or a contract on a house, well, here we're saying we're wanting to exempt it, so I guess we have to decide which way we're going to go.
So we want to remove that, right? Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, yep.
That language needs to be removed to
That's
align
right.
with what we're doing.
So typically what we do for regular enrollment is if they're moving into a school zone, we allow them to submit a contract or a lease starting, for early admission before they move in. For the choice schools, like we just talked about, that would not apply. They would actually have to already be a resident.
So then we were going back to our previous one, we would just strike this and leave it as is.
Right, we could, up to the committee.
Yes, Ms. Darby.
This actually says during a semester. So I think this portion, unless I'm reading it incorrectly, is for people who have moved into the county during the school year? Is that correct?
It's prior to.
Because it says are moving into Rutherford County during a semester,
Where are you reading that?
right here.
Yes, isn't this changing what we just
It says prior to.
decided?
Next sentence
Because
says prior to.
Right, but this says during a semester, and they request to enroll in a Rutherford County school prior to moving into the county, but it's during the school year is what this is talking about. So what we talked about earlier was Dr. Sullivan, when is the application period?
January 1st to December 1st to January 31st.
So what that spoke to was from December 1st until the application process closes, you must already be residing in Rutherford County to apply to a choice school. This is talking about if a parent moves into the county during the school year and they want to enroll their kid in school, this is basically telling you the school year's already started, you can't go to the choice school. Am I understanding
Yes.
correctly?
yes.
And that's typical. If somebody moves in during the year, we don't allow them to apply for
Well,
it.
I don't know that there'd be seats anyway, but.
Couldn't be because there's a waiting list. Yes.
Right.
Any questions? Comments?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Ms. Sharp. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes.
Okay. And then last is policy 6.701, student solicitations, fundraising activities. This would add language for online fundraising. This is a request from our, Mr. Runyon and our accounting department to add this language in.
And I'll add the reason for this is as we continue to be more and more online, we've had various companies who try to reach out. The comptroller's office has ever-changing guidelines about what threshold has to be met in order for like the percentage, if you're doing online fundraising, the percentage that has to go to the school versus the vendor. We are unique, and so it's one that frustrates, I know our staff, Murfreesboro City can allow different fundraising groups. Trying to think of the group. Gone blank on what the name of it is, but what our staff's not allowed to apply for it. Can you think of it? The Merced City does. Anyways, there's a really popular one that we are not permitted to use because we are audited by the comptroller and the city is audited by a third-party vendor. And so that's, the comptroller has their option, but since they're a city school system. So this just helps us put in policy that our schools have to follow the guidance from the comptroller's office, and knowing it is a little bit different and that percentage changes. So it's, you may not have two districts that allow the exact same thing because of who does their audits.
Okay.
Questions? Comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
Thank you, Mr. Vaught. Thank you, Mr. Tidwell. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Okay.
Donors choose. That was it. Donors choose. So that was the one I was thinking
Oh,
of.
donors choose.
Donors choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other business? Okay. We are adjourned.